Hey you guys, it's Britt. Tonight I wanted to do a part 2 to the video that I posted on Nikki and Dan Phillippi. I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys, so I have to, again, I'm sorry about this. I have to put a trigger warning in the beginning of this video. And if you are sensitive to animal welfare, animal treatment, you know, dogs, cats, whatever it is, please skip this video. This is the second video that I will be uploading today. So there are 2 videos for you guys. And I completely understand if you guys cannot watch this, but I do feel like this is very, very important that I use my platform right now to speak against this and also give other people a safe place where they can share their thoughts surrounding this. And yeah, so that's what I'm going to do today. So if you haven't seen part 1 to this, please watch part 1 first so that you'll understand kind of my scattered thoughts in this part 2 video. I will put it in my description box because in my pinned comment, I will put the change.org petition to demonetize Nikki's YouTube channel. So I said in part 1 that when I found out about this, at first I was really sad, then I was angry, and during the anger phase is when I filmed my video. And obviously when you're angry, you leave a lot of stuff out, and these are kind of going to be some of my thoughts that I didn't have in part 1. But more importantly, I actually called my local animal shelter, and I wanted to talk to one of the intake counselors there and just kind of explain this situation to someone who has experience taking in troubled dogs and see what they had to say. So I have a couple of those pieces scattered in here, but again, this is kind of just going to be all of my thoughts as of right now. Something that I left out of part 1 is that Nikki and Dan's son actually tugged Bowser's ear. Bowser is the dog. Tugged his ear so hard that the dog had a cauliflower ear for almost a month. And I'll throw up an image of what a cauliflower ear looks like. This is something that happens when extreme trauma happens to an ear. This growth can form, and I'm not a doctor, so I don't know all of the science behind it, but it is the body's way of responding to trauma when it's on the ear. It took almost a month to heal, and I do believe that this child tugging on the dog's ear sort of set off the need for the dog to defend himself. And this is 100% the parent's fault, in my personal opinion. But before I get into that, I also want to say a question that I had once I thought about a dog's ear healing for a month is, was the dog seen by a vet? And if the dog was seen by a vet, which I hope that it was, to, you know, get some pain medication and make sure that the ear was okay. Most importantly, to make sure that the dog was comfortable and not in any type of pain. Did they tell the vet what happened? Because if you take a dog into a vet with an injury, the vet is obviously going to say, well, what happened? What caused this? Were they transparent with the vet about what happened? Our toddler son pulled the dog's ear. What did the vet say about that? Did the vet say this dog needs to go, you know, to see a behavioral specialist? So this is all speculation because I don't even know if they took the dog to the vet. If someone knows, please leave that in the comments below. Something else that I thought of afterwards was that they mentioned how Bowser was attacked as a puppy. And when a dog is attacked, especially, you know, I would say at any age, but especially at the, you know, tender age of a puppy, there has to be some sort of rehab, emotional training that follows that attack up, because that's very obviously filled with trauma for the dog. It can make them very reactive. It can make them very hard to socialize with other animals and other people. I get the feeling, in my opinion, based on everything that has come out, my general consensus about Nikki and Dan is that they were very lazy dog owners. They had a puppy that was attacked, didn't give him any of the tools to make sure that he could socialize with other dogs, make sure that there was no trauma left over from this attack when he was very young. Then they go all these years, they don't give him the proper exercise, they keep him cooped up in the house or in the backyard all day, and they don't, you know, care for his social skills or anything like that. To me, it just seems like they were very lazy dog owners, and any dog owner knows that dogs have to go outside, they have to be socialized, they have to get enough exercise, they have to have a way to exhaust their energy multiple times a day, especially with a breed like this. I have learned a lot more about the Bull Terrier over the last 24 hours, and all dogs need exercise, but there are certain dogs that need that like extra notch up of having a way to exhaust their energy, you know, multiple times a day. Now, the event that caused Nikki and Dan to kill their dog was their son took food from the dog. The number one question that I have about this is, why was the child granted access to the dog and the food bowl? Why did that happen? Why was this even a possibility? Especially how they tried to build this narrative that the dog was some sort of Cujo, even though they call him an angel. He was such a good dog, but he couldn't go around other dogs. We hardly took him for walks. He couldn't go to, you know, the dog park to see other dogs because he was so crazy, but he was also the best dog ever and so gentle and so clumsy. And so these two opposite sides are very confusing. Why was the child allowed near the food bowl during feeding time? There are many other options that could have happened. They could have fed the dog in a room and put up a baby gate to make sure that the dog could have some peace and quiet during mealtime. They could have fed him in a crate. I know a lot of dog owners do that. We don't use a crate for Axel because we don't feel like he needs one. But he is very comfortable in a crate, and he will go in a crate if there's a position or if there's a situation that happens and we need him to go in a crate. He's very comfortable in a crate. You could have been feeding him in a crate, feed him in a different area of the house with no baby gate, but make sure that the child has no access to that area. The dog should not have to worry about a toddler popping up and invading their mealtime and putting their hands in the food bowl or anywhere near that dog when the dog is trying to eat. The other thing I want to just touch on again is just the fact that in that video, Dan says Bowser was an outside dog that I had to keep inside. And I do believe that after many years of having an outside dog that you have to keep inside, this poor dog was probably trying to do his best to be a good dog. And I think that that was exhibited through his growling when the child would come near him or when he was in an uncomfortable position. He was trying to vocalize that he was unhappy. And to me, it sounded like this dog didn't have a safe place in the house. He didn't have a crate or, you know, a corner that was only his where the child could not invade his privacy. Dogs need a safe place, and that's why so many people have a crate in their home so that the dog can go into their den and feel safe and feel like, you know, they can sleep or they can eat their meal or whatever. It's so vital. You know, if the humans have their own space where they can go, y'all know how I feel. I treat dogs just like I treat other, you know, the other person in my house. Dogs deserve a safe place. And if he was trying to vocalize these small growls, just because the dog growls doesn't mean that he's ready to, you know, tear your leg into shreds. He was trying to vocalize to his owners that he was unhappy. And it sounds like they completely ignored all of his warning signs and all of his ways of communicating with them. Something else that really bothered me after I thought about it was the fact how they really try to spread this dangerous stereotype when it comes to bull terriers They mentioned this whole thing, how they were used for hog hunting in Australia. And, you know, I don't even know do Australians still use them for hog hunting? I don't know. I think it's completely irrelevant, if you ask me. But for me, it sounds like they are trying to use this as some sort of cop-out for being lazy owners and not getting him the proper training and giving him the proper resources to be able to be around their child and be around other dogs and socialize with other people. It is not fair to keep a dog trapped in a house because you are a lazy dog owner. Dogs deserve to go and socialize with other dogs. They deserve to go on walks. They deserve to be around other people. If you have people in your home, dogs don't deserve to just be shut out and shut into a room. And then when all shit hits the fan because you didn't put boundaries in place, you kill the dog. To me, that shit's not going to fly. You know, the bully breeds like pit bulls and bull terriers and all of this stuff, one of the things that has always bothered me for a very long time are the dangerous stereotypes that surround these kinds of dogs. I realize that dogs can be very dangerous, but I also believe that they are products of their environment. They are products of, you know, how they're brought up, their owners, their training, all of the things. So for them to sit here and try to throw that hog hunting thing and make him out like he's such a dangerous dog, while also saying that he was quote unquote what, spirit animal, come on, nobody is buying that shit. I think it really does go back to this, and this is something that the intake counselor talked to me about. I talked to her about it today, is that when something traumatic happens to a dog at a very young age, like this dog Bowser was attacked by another bull terrier when he was a puppy, Nikki and Dan said it themselves, if that trauma goes untreated into the dog's adult years, it can have a huge impact on that dog and also the family members in that household. It is vital to hire a, trainer, look at behavioral coaches, get that dog the help that it needs so that something like this doesn't happen down the road. And I'm not saying that's the only cause. I also think that they obviously had no boundaries in between the dog and the child, not giving the dog a safe space, allowing the child, near the dog, obviously to rip its ear so that it had the cauliflower ear, also near the dog during mealtime. I believe that Bowser was a very good dog that had a lot of trauma, a lot of pent-up energy that he wasn't able to get out because they, would only let him in the backyard. And I believe that when he stood up for himself, instead of them understanding what was going on and saying, maybe we shouldn't have been lazy fucking dog owners for the last 9-10 years, they said, we're going to end his life. So when I talked to the intake counselor at my local shelter, something else that she mentioned was when you have a purebred dog that has behavioral issues and the owners want to rehome the dog, because most owners, if they're not going to go the training route, they will possibly go the rehoming route. They don't go the fucking kill your dog route. If they're going to go that rehoming route with the purebred dogs that need to be rehomed, there are breed-specific agencies, she said, and she's, basically explained that these agencies are employed with a staff that deeply understands the breed, understands some of the behavioral issues that can surround some of these dogs, and they are very in tune with how to rehab these dogs so that they can be adopted. And they're a great resource for people that are in a position where maybe they've already tried the training, they've looked at, they've worked with a behavioral coach, and they are at the point where they have to rehome the dog. Something else I want to talk about here is the fact that they brought in this euthanasia vet to their home. Dan said, oh, I wanted to take him in the backyard like Old Yeller. I don't know what that was, but that makes my stomach turn. I am sorry. I don't even understand what his point was there, what he was trying to get across. I think it's disgusting. But what they ended up doing was bringing in this, doctor to have Bowser put down in the comfort of his own home. This is a costly route to go, and it is more expensive. And while I think that it's great for the dog to be at home instead of at a vet, and I understand the purpose behind it, the thing that I find so convenient is they were willing to fork out the dough to have this person come to their residence to carry this out. But they wouldn't spend the money or get the fucking resources for Bowser to get some behavioral help, get some training, so that he could have not lost his life. I'm sorry, you guys. I am so angry about this entire situation. And I know that 99% of you guys are right there along with me. And that's why I'm making this part 2, so that we can continue the conversation. And, I want this video to be seen. I want it to be heard. And I really don't understand what they thought the outcome was going to be. Did they think they were going to make this video and people were going to be, accepting of it? There is no excuse for what happened here. There is no justifying it. All that I see are 2 lazy fucking dog owners that let their dog down, didn't give him the proper resources, brought a child into the home, placed no boundaries on the child, and allowed shit to hit the fan, and the dog lost his life over it. That is some unfair shit if I have ever heard of it. They don't deserve to be dog owners. They don't deserve to have a dog right now. They don't deserve to own a dog in the future. And they damn sure don't deserve the sympathy that they're getting from the few idiots that are handing it out. And the last thing that I wanted to say, just like a true coward would, Nikki has privated her Instagram. So way to put a platter full of crap out to your followers and then run and hide from any of the real criticism that people are ready to give you. So these people are, in my personal opinion, monsters. They do not deserve, they don't deserve sympathy. They don't deserve anyone telling them that it's okay, because this is not okay. It's gross. So either way, you guys, I realize that this is a very, very sensitive subject, and I realize that it upsets a lot of people. But like I always say, there are some topics that are really hard for me to cover, but I also think that it's important for me to use my platform to elevate voices of, you guys, of me, to help spread awareness, help get the message out, and hopefully people will continue to take notice. I know a lot of the news networks have picked up this story now, and, the way I look at it, people like her and her husband, I feel like they should not be eligible to own another dog. And call me crazy, I don't care. I think that there were so many different things that they could have done before they did this. And because they made this final decision, I think being a dog owner is a privilege. And I take it as a great honor, like I said in my last video. It is one of my greatest responsibilities in life to make sure that Axel has the vet care, and if and when he needs it, behavioral help, and you know, training and all of the things. The financial part of it is obviously huge. I have poured, you know, me and my boyfriend, we have poured hours and hours into attending to Axel and making sure that he is, you know, living the best quality of life. And the best quality of life means not only health and wellness, but also the behavior part of it. Making sure that he has a safe space. And lazy fucking dog owners ain't gonna fly. So either way, you guys, I wanted to get this out for you. Please use my comments section as a, you know, way to vent your frustrations. I realize that when YouTubers do something like this and then they go private and they shut off all their comments and stuff, it can feel like, okay, you're just going to plant this on us and then run and hide. And yes, that's what many of them do. So feel free to use my comment section on this video and the other video that I did, part 1. Share how you feel, and you know, you guys can have conversations with each other, and I will be down there too talking to you guys. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment, and if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.